Have you ever looked closely in the mirror? I mean, truly looked. Not just to see if your shirt is on correctly, but to see the details. Today, on this day, the 29th of August, 2025, I did just that. I looked into my own eyes, and then my gaze drifted. It went to the hairs on my head and the hairs in my beard. There were so many, each one a tiny thread, a single small line growing from me. I thought, I wonder how many there are. It seemed like a simple question, a question with a number for an answer, but I would soon discover it was not simple at all. So I tried to count them. I started with a small patch on my chin. 1, 2, 3. They were so close together. 4, 5. I lost my place. I tried again, using my finger to keep track. 10, 11, 12. But then I would see another one, hiding just behind the others. It was a forest. A dense, tangled forest of hair. Every time I thought I had a section counted, my eyes would blur. The numbers would slip away like sand through my fingers. The task, I realized, was not just difficult. It felt completely impossible. It was a beautiful kind of chaos. The feeling was not one of frustration. Instead, it was a feeling of wonder. It was the feeling you get when you look up at the stars on a clear night. You know there are billions of them. You cannot possibly count them all. And yet you still look. You still feel their immense presence. Here on my own face was a similar kind of infinity, a universe of tiny hairs, each one with its own place, each one part of a whole that was simply too big to measure. The sheer number of them was astonishing. It was a quiet, personal discovery of abundance. This simple act of looking, of trying to count, opened my eyes to something I see every single day but never truly notice. We are covered in these tiny details. Our bodies are landscapes. They have mountains and valleys, forests and plains. And in those forests, the trees are too numerous to count. This small experiment, born from a moment of curiosity in front of a mirror, was already showing me a new way to see myself. It was a reminder that even the most familiar things hold secrets and wonders, if only we take a moment to look. Now, let us turn our attention to the animal kingdom. Perhaps you have a pet, a dog, a cat, or even a rabbit. Look at its fur, feel it with your hands. You can feel the softness and the thickness. But have you ever tried to see each individual hair? It is a challenge far greater than the one in the mirror. Their fur is a dense coat, a perfect shield designed by nature. Each strand is woven together with its neighbors. They create a beautiful, flowing pattern. When you part the fur, you see more fur underneath. It seems to go on forever. I invite you to try this. If you have a cat sleeping on a chair, look closely at its back, or perhaps a dog resting at your feet. Try to count the hairs in a single square centimeter. You will find it is a world of its own. The colors shift and change. There are long guard hairs and a soft, downy undercoat. It is a complex ecosystem. If you do not have a pet, a photograph will do. Find a high-quality picture of a lion's mane or a bear's thick coat. The sheer volume of fur is breathtaking. It is a testament to nature's incredible ability to create abundance. The impossibility of the task becomes clear very quickly. With our own hair, we might feel we can make a start. But with an animal's fur, the numbers are truly astronomical. They are a living, breathing example of infinity in miniature. Each hair plays a role. It provides warmth. It provides protection. It helps the animal blend in with its surroundings. This is not just a random collection of strands. It is a highly organized, incredibly dense community of hairs, all working together for the survival of the creature. We cannot count them, but we can certainly admire them. This exercise shows us something profound about the natural world. It is filled with details that are beyond our ability to measure. We can analyze a single feather, we can study a single scale, but to count every feather on a bird or every scale on a fish, the numbers are too vast. It teaches us a sense of humility. It reminds us that there are forces and patterns in nature that are far greater than our ability to quantify. And in that realization, there is a special kind of beauty. A beauty found in the overwhelming richness of life itself. When we accept that counting is impossible, something wonderful can happen. Our minds are free to play. Let your imagination take over. As you look at the fur of an animal, whether real or in a picture, pretend you are an invisible hairdresser. You have a tiny pair of scissors and a tiny comb. No one can see you. The animal will not be disturbed. What would you do? Would you give that long-haired cat a smart, short haircut for the summer? Perhaps a stylish bob that frames its face perfectly. The possibilities are endless and quite amusing. Think of a dog with shaggy fur around its eyes. As the invisible hairdresser, you could give it a clever fringe. You could sweep the hair to one side, giving it a roguish and charming look. Imagine a horse with its long, flowing mane. You could braid it with tiny imaginary flowers. You could create intricate patterns that would shimmer as it runs through a field. This is not about changing the animal. It is about using our imagination to interact with the world in a new and joyful way. It is a silent, secret game between you and the natural world. The fun does not have to stop there. What about a lion? Its magnificent mane is a symbol of power. But in your imagination, you could give it a different style. Perhaps you could give it a neat, tidy trim. Or maybe you could make it even wilder and more impressive, teasing it out into a glorious sunburst of hair. You could even imagine adding a touch of color, a streak of gold, perhaps, to catch the sunlight. This playful act connects us to the animal in a creative spirit. It turns a simple observation into a moment of pure, lighthearted fun. This game of being an invisible hairdresser is more than just a silly pastime. It is an exercise in creativity. It teaches us to look at something and see not just what is there, but what could be there. It transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. The world becomes a canvas for our imagination. A sleeping cat is no longer just a sleeping cat. It is a client waiting for a fantastic new hairstyle. This simple shift in perspective can bring a smile to your face and a touch of magic to an otherwise normal day. So what is the deeper meaning of this playful experiment? It begins with counting hairs and ends with imaginary haircuts. But the journey itself is the true lesson. It is about the art of paying attention. In our busy lives, we often overlook the small things. We see a tree, but not its individual leaves. We see a lawn, but not each blade of grass. This exercise forces us to slow down. It asks us to look closely. And when we do, we discover a world of incredible detail and complexity that we never knew existed. This is about finding infinity in the smallest of spaces. The countless hairs on your own head, or the endless fur on a pet, are small-scale versions of the stars in the sky or the grains of sand on a beach. They show us that the concept of infinity is not just something for astronomers and mathematicians. It is all around us. It is in the patterns of a feather, the veins of a leaf, and the texture of a stone. Recognizing this abundance can fill us with a sense of awe and wonder for the world we inhabit. It makes the ordinary seem truly magical. Imagination is the key that unlocks this magic. When we stop trying to measure and start trying to imagine, we open up a new relationship with our surroundings. We are no longer just passive observers. We become active participants. We can play, create, and find joy in the simplest of things. The act of pretending to be an invisible hairdresser is an act of connection. It is a way of saying, I see the detail, I see the beauty, and I can add my own spark of creativity to it. It is a powerful tool we all possess. And the best part is that anyone can do this. You do not need any special equipment. You do not need to travel to an exotic place. All you need is a mirror, or a pet, or even just a picture. You need a moment of quiet and a willingness to look closely. Then let your curiosity and imagination do the rest. You will find that the world is far richer and more wonderful than you ever realized. There is magic hidden in the everyday, just waiting for you to find it. You simply have to look.